Many believe that learning how to weld can be a hard task to perform, but in reality, learning how to spot weld can be very simple, and spot welding is the starting point for every welder. So, first you want to turn on your machine, just flip the switch, is pretty much what it is, and then you have an amp range, set it to about 70 to 85. After that, I'll show you how to hook up the leads. These are your two leads that you have. This is your ground clamp, and this is your electrode holder clamp. Okay, so take your ground clamp, you see the table, clamp it to the metal surface that you're going to be welding with. Okay, and then take your electrode holder and just kind of put it up for somewhere right now. Make sure none of the cables are tangled. So now what you're going to do is you're going to get your materials, your metal plate that you're going to be welding with, in your grinder. Make sure you have safety glasses, a welding hood with a grind mode, or a face shield on. Make sure you have gloves as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your grinder and kind of go around, obviously squeezing the trigger, and it being in a clamp or a vice grip like I have my metal right there. Squeeze the trigger and just gently kind of apply pressure to the metal. So the metal looks like this. It has this dirty, like nasty looking film on it. It's called mill scale. This is your grinded side. This is what you should get at the grinder. If you don't have it immediately, it's fine. It takes a little bit. Just put a little bit more pressure down or bearing down whenever you're grinding it, and you should get this. You need this to weld with. This produces the best weld. This kind of gives you a dirty and ugly weld. Now I'm going to show you how to spot weld. When it comes to spot welding, you need your rod. Obviously, your welding machine is powered on, and then you need obviously a good. I'm using a 70-18, but any type of rod really works for spot welding. So take your electrode holder. It has a clamp, right? It opens up. Take your rod with the exposed metal that you can see, and open it up and then slide it into the teeth. Now get a comfortable grip on this thing because it sometimes can fly out of your hands. I like wrapping mine twice around my arm like that, but some people throw it over their shoulder. So once you have this and you have your welding hood on and your gloves, you're going to want to take your plate, obviously with it being in a vice grip or a clamp, and you're going to take your rod and either tap it like that or strike it. Obviously my machine's not on, so it's not going to weld, but once you do that, you're going to see sparks fly. So you've created your arc, you've started the welding process. What you're going to see is a water-like substance form on top of the plate. Okay, what that water-like substance is the metal inside this rod. It is melting onto the plate and forming a puddle. The puddle is what we typically call it, and we use to manipulate it to form the weld that we want. Okay, so when it comes to the puddle, you're gonna want to let it build up to about the size of a quarter, and then for height, you're gonna want it to be like 3 to 6 quarters in height, somewhere in there, just like quarters stacked on top of each other. So it shouldn't be but like a tiny, maybe an inch. Make sure when you're doing that, you're in a comfortable stance and you feel good. You don't want to feel pressured or anything. Feeling comfortable is one of the most important things when it learns to weld, or when it comes to welding. So once you see the puddle formed, while your hood's down and you're welding and everything, once you see that puddle formed to about the size that you want it, you're going to want to take your rod, obviously in the electrode holder. You want to take it and then pull it away or snap it away, whatever. That breaks the electricity, the arc, and then you're done welding. So what you should get is you should end up with something like that. But what it'll look like, it'll be a little bit bigger than what you expect. It'll have a casing around it, like a shell. That's called slag. It's dust and debris and dirt that encase the weld. As soon as you finished, it encases itself over it. Just take a chisel or a hammer and kind of tap it away, and it'll break right off. So take a brush and then wipe it down a little bit, and then that's your spot weld. So after hearing and seeing all these steps, you may believe that welding is a hard task to perform, but in reality, I just showed you how to spot weld in about 4 or 5 minutes. So yes, welding is a complicated career. There's a lot of materials and everything that goes along with it, but I just showed you how to spot weld, and every good welder has to learn somewhere, and that's where they start, as a spot welder. So thanks for listening. At the end of this, I'll play like a 30-second, maybe 45-second clip of me welding, what I see and what you should see if you learn to spot weld. Thanks for listening.